Hi guys, Ann here, and today we have a little, I don't even know what you want to call this, coffee talk? Ah, I am just sitting in my bed chilling. We got to come up with a series because it's like, I just got done filming for the beauty channel, so it's like early afternoon. It's like 12:30. So, I don't know, we got to figure something out, but I have tried like doing a few things like in my bed. I put it in some of my vlogs and I'm like, I kind of like this because this is so personal, and so real. Let me try to get you because I have you on this desk thingy. So I don't have to hold you because my arm is getting tired. But let me get myself together. Hold the phone. All right, I got to kind of hold the table up because sitting on, I don't know, we'll figure this out. This is all like new and learning and all of that. Just in case you don't know, my room is in the attic. So I have like my filming stuff is over here. You guys usually see my bed if you watch my beauty channel. This is my headboard. This right here is LED lights, but this is the color of my attic. It's very dark. Hence why, like, you see the other, when you look at the beauty channel or when I film at my desk, like I put what do you call this, like a backdrop up, because otherwise, I mean, it's just dark and I don't want to paint over it because this house is over 125 years old and that's the natural wood and I just don't want to ruin anything. I don't know, sentimental stuff. Anyway, I've been wanting to film and tell you some good news. I know if you see my community post, but then I had women issues and most of you know, I am a baby. I can't handle cramping, pain, anything, okay? I am a whiner. I am a punk. So I am learning through the years that it's best I don't even film because when I get like that, I get more emotional. Little things will hurt my feelings and it's just not good for me to film. So I figured I waited till today. Today is Tuesday when I'm filming. Do you ever where you're just so happy, you just want to cry? It's because it's happy. So if I do end up crying, it's happiness. So I've told you guys that I started therapy. I've been going to therapy for a while now, a couple months now. It's one of the best decisions I've ever done. One of them. And I don't know if it's the specific counselor that I'm talking to or therapist. I don't know what it is. Or maybe I'm getting older and I understand it. Or maybe because I just really want help now, So I have shared with you guys that I was diagnosed for a long, I have bipolar. I have ADHD. I have OCD. That I was never diagnosed with OCD, but I'm pretty sure I have that. I have anxiety. I suffer from depression, all of that. And I'm not medicated. My choice, I have a very addictive personality and I am scared I will get addicted to that and think that I'm going to need that medicine to survive. And I feel like I've lived 49 years like this. But I'm learning maybe I do need some medication because I can't do it. I don't know. So when you have, for instance, what I'm learning about myself, I've always told you that I'm a pacer. So I pace. And if I'm on the phone, if I'm talking for 2 hours and doing the walkie-talkie back and forth or what have you, or whatever the case may be, I'm steady pacing. And you guys know I have a bad ankle. And my ankle's, but that's just what I do. I pace. Or sometimes not even on the phone, I just start pacing if there's so much on my mind. And I always thought it was anxiety. And my counselor's telling me, my therapist telling me, no, that's part of ADHD. And like different things I'm learning about myself, it makes sense. I'm also learning we are dealing with trauma for me. Why? I told you in 2025 for me, it's the year of learning and changing, right? And learning why. Why am I like this? Why do I do certain things? Why can't I let things go? Why do I vent so much? Why do I allow things to bother me? Why am I such a people pleaser? What, like there's so many things, right? Why can't I let people go? Why can't, just in general, and you know, so we have to go back to the beginning. And I started looking back at my beauty channel. I started that in 2017. And that was before my mother died, the house fire, my daughter having open heart and lung surgery, my grandmother passing, before like a lot of things happened that you guys are aware of that happened since I've been doing YouTube. And I turned around and I was like, boy, I want that person back. Yes, that person was still broken, right? That person was still going through things, but I was generally happy. And I want that person back. Then I went fast forward to a couple of years and it was like the negativity. I started doing the clickbaity stuff, like negative stuff, because, you know, if I said, oh, old palette, moldy palette, people would click on it, you know, and we're talking about, you know, 2019, you know, like a couple years ago. And then I started doing that, and then I didn't like who I was becoming. And then last year, going through that divorce and all that, it's like, I think now I need help. Because just about every video I was bringing my ex-husband up and all of that because I was still hurting, right? So that's the reason why I started my therapy. I'm like, I want the old me back. I have one of those, what I'm using right now is a cheaper tripod. And so it's like, see how if I let it go, it keeps going down. You know what? Let me go get the better tripod, because once I start getting into this, I don't want to stop. This is all good news. I got in touch with some family. I've been talking to my family again, and it's just so good. And so I don't want to interrupt anymore. Let me go get the better one and stop being lazy, and I'll be right back. Okay, I think I got it now. I had one of these like this, so you pull it out. I got this at Five Below, and it works really good. Like, I keep this in my pocketbook in case, like, I'm like, oh, let me just do a walk and talk, or let me just do whatever. So you put it like this, and it could go all the way down, but you can keep it where you just like sitting at the table. But then what happens is it, like, once you have it up and then you have something heavy like the phone, because like this comes out like this to put the phone on, it starts going down. And that's what it was doing. It kept sliding down. And I'm on my bed, so it's like I had to, anyway, it doesn't matter. So now I have the better one. That's on my bed. We'll figure out lighting and different things. Let me know how this is later. But basically, I just wanted to just be real. I don't even know what I was saying now. And so I just didn't like the person I was becoming. I've been saying this for a long time. No, maybe that's not right. I do, like, I'm very happy I have Ryan now and different things. I have a good relationship with my kids. Akira just jumped on a bed. And all of that. It's just, I didn't have closure. I don't know if that's it or what. I don't know what it was. But I needed to learn how to let go of things. And why. I just wanted to know why. Okay? I don't know why. I've always been that type of person. I got to know why. If somebody didn't like me, it was like, I just needed to know why. Once I knew why, then it's like, oh, well, F you too. But it's like, well, why don't you like me? What did I do? It was like very weird. Why am I such a people pleaser? Why do I always get upset if somebody doesn't like me? Why do I care if I got a comment that don't even know me in real life, that I allow it to bother me so much? Like, why? Why? For a long time, you guys know that I have said, like, dealing with certain things, you know, that I said publicly, like with the house fire, I was like, nobody came here. With health issues that I had, nobody came here. Going through, you know, and, you know, when I talk like that, it's unjust. And like I always say, if the shoe fits, wear it. But I was talking about like family. And I have a very small family. And some family don't like to be bothered because I dated outside my race, or I have interracial kids, or they considered me, you know, because I lived in the projects and, you know, all different things. And I got in trouble and I was a drug addict at one time and all of that. So they looked down on me. Let's keep it 100. And then others I was hurt about. I have a few that's been trying to come back in my life, but, you know, like I would say happy birthday and this and that, but I wouldn't hold conversations. But I finally picked up the phone and said, I got to. And let me just tell you, we talked for hours. It had to do with one of my aunts and my cousin. And after the phone conversation, I cried like a baby. Happy. I was mad at my cousin, who's a few years younger than me, for a very long time because, you know, he had a drug issue, which he's clean now. He's been clean for a couple years. And he had stole, when my kids were little, I had on my dresser, I had my kids, like, my dad. The only thing left I had of my dad died when I was 6, was he had bought me little hoop earrings. They were 14 karat gold, little tiny hoop earrings. And I have a few pictures of Lexi wearing them when she was a baby. I'll see if I can find them and put them here. And I had on my dresser because I was getting ready to clean a lot of this jewelry, because I wanted to keep it for when my daughter, she had kids, if she had a daughter, right? I had on my dresser, I had on Tyler's, I had him a custom-made bracelet that had his initials and different things. Just my kids' jewelry, like rings. I had a ring. Do you remember back in the day in the 90s, we had letter rings? So my name starts with an A. Lexi's real name starts with an A. And so my mom got it for me on my 14th birthday because everybody had name rings, and it was 14 karat. And, you know, my mom couldn't afford it, but, you know, she finally got it to me for my birthday, and I had it there, and I was going to give it to Lexi on her 14th birthday and then keep it in, you know. So I had all this stuff that was sentimental. Money can't replace these things. And he stole it. And I was upset about that. When my mother was on hospice, he was begging my mom for medicine, like, you know, and I understand it's the addict in us, I get it, but just a lot of things. I was upset with my aunt for different things, and one of the main things was, where were you? You know, like when my mother and grandmother were both on hospice, so I wasn't dealing with just one person on hospice, I was dealing with 2 people, but my grandmother was a little bit more healthier. My grandmother was in her 90s, and she died from kidney disease, from diabetes, you know, and somebody in their 90s, I'm not putting them on dialysis. It's quality instead of quantity, right, of life. And she didn't want to be anyway, so I wasn't going to force her. But my mom had heart issues, but a final stage of COPD, so she had breathing issues and different things. And before the house fire, you know, my mother and grandma lived together. It's like nobody came around, and I felt like I'm the one raising kids. Everybody else, my aunts, all their kids were of age, you know. And it's like, but because I lived close to my mom, and I had health issues, but I was always the one that went to my mom and grandma, you know. So they just figured, well, Ann will go. And my aunt only lived like 40 minutes away, but because I lived 5 minutes away, it was like, oh, well, Ann's right there. But it's like, but that's your mother and that's your sister. And just, you know, and then my other aunt worked a lot, you know, and it's like, I don't know. And then when the house fire took place, again, I'm the one that did all the paperwork, did all the stuff. And it's like, where's everybody at? And I remember when my mother and grandmother were alive, they were so hurt because they were like, nobody came around. And I would remember them, my grandmother just crying, my mom upset. And then after they died, it was like, now I'm mad because of them, for them. Now I'm telling you this not to tell my family's business, but to let you understand why I was holding grudges, okay? And again, this is all going to turn into a positive thing. You know, I felt like, gosh, when I had a heart attack, gosh, does anybody care? You start thinking now this is all in my mind. This was in my mind. This is not actually the truth, but this is what you think. When it's like, gosh, every time you turn around, nobody's there because Ann's the strong one. Ann will take care of things, you know. And I'll tell you what my aunt and my cousin said in a little bit. But it was like, but when do I get to, you know? And then you just feel like, well, if your family isn't coming around and then you have, like, whatever the case may be, I just felt very lonely. And also remember, I wasn't in a great marriage, which the public at that time didn't know. You guys know now, but at the time you didn't know. So I'm dealing with all of this. I start shutting down. And I'm like, I'm not even going to call anybody. They weren't there when I don't need them. I don't need them now. That's a sign of hurt. So anyway, I get a hold of them because they've been texting me and stuff. And we just talked. And, you know, I was very honest with them. And my aunt says to me, I'm sorry. I should have been there more. The 2 words, I'm sorry, or if you want to make it 3, I am sorry. All these years of hurt, not feeling loved, feeling taken advantage of, feeling not supported, went away. It's so weird. It's like I had my closure. You know, my aunt was like, I don't know how you did it. You were a strong person. And, you know, we just figured you were there. And she was like, I was being selfish. And, you know, my cousin, you know, the same thing, and was like, I'm sorry. And, you know, that was my Aunt Debbie and grandmom. And, you know, and like I said to my cousin, like, you know, that was my grandma, like it was your grandma. Then we start like just reminiscing of good times in the family and that. And it was like so nice to finally have somebody to talk to. Like, do you remember when this happened? Do you remember when this happened? Do you remember when we used to put masks on and used to scare you? And so all this time I played hard. Like, I don't need anybody. I really did. I just wanted to feel like somebody cared. And I didn't feel like that for many years. And I think a lot of it had to do with my ex-husband. When you hear so many times, oh, you're toxic, or you're this, or you're that, or you're that, you start believing it. And it's like for the last few years, I had some real shit going on that some people, I don't know if they can even handle. And I was doing it all by myself. Yes, I had my kids, but they're my kids. They don't know I'm upset. They don't know about any drama. They don't know about anything. They don't know about my health like that. They know I have heart disease. They know I'm diabetic. But when I'm not feeling good, I stay in my room. They don't know it and they don't see it, you know? Because I don't want them to stress like, oh, mom's going to die, you know? And just those 2 words, I'm sorry. That's why I tell you guys all the time, be kind. We don't know what people are going through, you know? And maybe I'm the type of person, right? I was always like, I'm sorry, because I didn't want anybody mad with me. I thought, I don't want to lose, you know, whatever the case may be. And again, guys, I'm not talking about anybody specifically, I'm just talking. My friends, like even my friend Lisa, just out of the blue, I say, you know, I appreciate you. I tell all of my friends all the time, out of the blue or whatever, I'm so thankful to have you in my life. I appreciate you. I'm always saying that. And even though some things, maybe I'm still upset with them, but I still tell them that because I wish people would have told me, especially at my hard time, like, you're a good mom. You're a good person. I appreciate you. Because sometimes those kind words could really, I don't know the right way to say it. Like, sometimes that's all people need to hear. I said to my aunt, the day my mom died, and I think I just needed closure. Who knew my mom was going to die that day, especially on Thanksgiving? And I remember calling my aunt. You know, my oldest son was the one who found my mom. So I'm dealing with that. And he still is going through that to this day. The trauma, you know. I remember calling her first, my one aunt. And she was on her way to New York to see her other son. It's about a two-hour drive. And she was almost there. And I remember her first thing was, well, I'm on my way to her other son's house. And she was like, so I can't turn back around. We're almost here. And, you know, we have plans. I mean, what do you say to somebody? You know, okay. But in my heart, I'm thinking, this is your sister. What do you mean? You turn the hell back and you come here. What is more important? There's other Thanksgivings. There's other days. But this is your sister. Well, okay. I get a hold of my other aunt. She comes. And, you know, when you're on hospice, you don't call the ambulance. They don't come pick up but you have to wait until the hospice lady comes. And when it's a holiday, there's only one person on call. And you had to wait. And I was 4 hours with my mom's body. I had to help change my mother for them to put her in a diaper. And, you know, when you pass, sometimes people urinate or poop on themselves or what have you. Your muscles and everything let go. And when the morgue starts to come, when they're coming, everybody leaves. I can't handle this. They did the same thing with my grandmother. I can't handle this. I can't. But I had to stay. Somebody had to stay and sign the papers because they felt like I was the strong one. And like I was just telling my aunt, I'm not strong. But I had to be that way because who else was going to do it? And I don't take it back. I do it all over again. But it sucks to feel all alone. And there's a lot of things I haven't shared with you guys that it's just hard. And I think sometimes I took my hurt and anger on the wrong people. I expected too much on the wrong people. That I'm aware of. I'm learning that now. Do I still think some things are effed up? Like, absolutely. But it's nobody's responsibility to make me happy or to get over things. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, with therapy, I am learning. I don't know why I'm the type of person I need that closure to move on. And just that, I didn't know what the closure would be, but just that I'm sorry. I should have been there more. That night, I had slept so good that I haven't slept that good in years. Because my mind always is working. I'm always thinking. Or if somebody's upset with me, I think. I woke up with such peace. Now my family, we're talking about getting together, them coming here. Getting back to how it was. And like my cousin says to me, Ann, I need you like you need me. We have a small family. I'm going through things. And I feel alone. Hold on a second, guys. The reason why I'm sharing this is not for, oh, pity Ann. Oh, I'm so sorry, and that's horrible. It's not for any of that stuff, I promise you. And I know those people that think I share too much. That's not why. Or exploiting my family or anything. It's none of that. I do this to share. If you're going through this, have went through it, if you're stubborn like me, like, F you, I don't need you, you weren't there, and you're hurting. I don't want anybody to be like how I was, where I would sit on this bed and cry myself to sleep. Wonder why my husband didn't love me, why he didn't want this marriage to work, why would he go other places, why didn't he help pay bills, why didn't he like my kids, what is it, why did this happen in my life, why did that happen in my life, I didn't ask for this to happen when I was 9 years old, what, and then I start thinking, maybe it is me, is it me? And that's a horrible way to feel. Depression is a bitch, and a lot of times it wasn't really like that, it was in my head. Was in my head. What I'm learning, I always say I don't need anybody, like my kids' fathers. I didn't need them. F them. I mean, I didn't need them, but it would have helped. I let my pride and my ego get in the way. When I came to YouTube, I was like, oh, you know, I wanted friends and I wanted people to like me. And if like you as subscribers like said mean comments or didn't like me, I was a people pleaser. I would let it affect me. And it's like, I am at the point where I just don't care anymore. I know who I am as a person. I don't care what people believe. I don't care. And I'm learning why. Why was I so quick to say, I'm sorry. You know? Here's the thing. When we die, right? Everybody's all upset when somebody passes, right? And they talk about you and, you know, all the good things about you, and they cry and all this type of stuff. And then they're sending flowers, and, you know, after the funeral, they might call here and there. But then, like, you have to go, you know, the family, you have to go back to work, and because you only have so much bereavement, and, you know, if it's your spouse that passes, maybe a month or so goes by, you might see something on TV and then finally start laughing at a joke, and, you know, time goes by. You're not there. People don't think about you as much. I think about that and think, so why am I living my life for people and not for me? When I'm gone, nobody's going to really care. After a while, they're not going to think about me or care. you know? And I'm not talking about like my kids and all of that, just in general. And so I have to start living for me. I can't worry about who doesn't like me, who's talking about me. Why do I care? I was going to change this channel up and was like, you know what? I'm going to stop talking about my personal life and growth and therapy because so many people might think it's about them. And I was like, I'm not going to do that because I started this channel after, well, I had it before my heart attack, but I started doing walk and talks and stuff is after my heart attack. And, you know, and it's like, I'm not going to change who I am to please people is what I'm saying. Because I preach what other people eat doesn't make you shit, right? What other people say is none of your business. They're not paying my bills. If I couldn't pay my electric bill, my electric was getting cut off. Are they going to help pay my bills? No. Are they going to feed me? No. You know, I have people saying, oh, you shouldn't eat that. You're diabetic, blah, blah, blah. You're going to die. Are you buying the stuff I'm supposed to eat then? No. Does that make sense? You know, would I take back talking about my divorce and stuff? No. But I would take back how I always kept bringing it up. But I wouldn't take back talking about it because a lot of us dealt with divorce or heartbreak. We can at least say we dealt with heartbreak at one time. It's natural. The only difference is I'm doing mine on camera, and some people choose to talk about it, some people don't. Now, on my beauty channel, do I talk about my personal stuff? No. I have a beauty unboxing channel, but this is my lifestyle vlog channel, so I talk about my life, and that's what I'm dealing with. It's so easy for people that aren't dealing with what I went through or dealing with, or that's not me to say, well, get over it. Get over it. Sometimes that's easier said than done, and I can't be fake. I don't know how to fake the funk like I'm this happy person if I'm really depressed, and that's what mental health is. Bipolar, depression, ADHD, I'm all over the place. That is me. And I'm not going to change for anybody. I'm not. And I'm learning, like, I need my family. I don't know. It's just those 2 words, I'm sorry. And I should have been there. And you're right, Anne. And please forgive me. I didn't know how much I needed to hear that. And I got my family back. Anyway, I'm going to get off of here because I really just don't know what to say. And it is getting a little hot in here. I got to turn my AC on. Isaiah did put the air conditioning up in here. Well, I got to go downstairs and stuff. But I want to try to get this vlog up for you. And this is not a negative. This is like a very positive. Like, I didn't know. I'm just going to keep repeating myself. But I have everything in my life that I always wanted. I have good friends. I have my family. I'm in a good relationship. I have my children. I mean, my health could be better, but you know, I can see, I can walk. I have a good life. I have it good. And I'm happy. I'm truly happy. All right, I'm going to get off of here. I just wanted to tell you about that. My next video either will be going somewhere, a walk and talk, or doing some more yard work. But please thumbs up this video. Thumbs up the video for I got my closure and I got my family back. Please thumbs up this video. Or you can thumbs it down. Please leave a comment. Commenting really does help out with engagement, even if it's just an emoji. It would mean the absolute world to me. Stay beautiful. Stay blessed. Stay healthy. And most importantly, always stay you. Never let somebody take you out of your character. Do as I say, not as I do. Bye, guys. These are happy tears. They're not sad tears. They're happy tears.